It was branded post-war as the milk chocolate that's different, and its advertising certainly was, featuring expensive oil paintings of a group of young women known as the Aero Girls. They were identified only by their first names, and no one was sure whether they were real or imaginary. But now, almost 60 years on, as the paintings go on display at York Mansion House, Channel 4 News has tracked down one of the original Aero Girls. Katie Razzle went to meet her.
I'm forever blowing bubbles.
They gaze out, elegant young women, painted in oil, frozen in time. These faces graced the pages of magazines and newspapers to sell chocolate. Not just any old chocolate, said the 1950s adverts, something different, hence the oil paintings. But who were the Aero Girls?
They fade and die.
This was the heyday of chocolate making in York. Perhaps some of the Aero Girls were picked from the factory floor. They were stylish enough. Channel 4 News has tracked down a London-based Aero Girl used in this TV advert in 1955. She's in her 90s and still in good voice. You're as beautiful now as you are there, which is not bad for a 93-year-old. Pamela Singh still owns the sister portrait to the one used in the advertisement, but most of the original paintings were forgotten, hidden in amongst the paperwork of the old confectioner Roundtree, filed at York's Borthwick Institute for Archives.
Just down this corridor is where I found it. It was here. In amongst all of these other board papers, sales figures, marketing strategy papers, we found all these paintings.
Using paintings was a departure from the aero advertising of the 30s and 40s. Photographs and drawings were commonplace in all advertising by then, though the claims of Aero's benefits raise eyebrows now. But between 1950 and 1957, 40 Aero Girls were painted by major figures in the art establishment.
We don't have any of these paintings, no idea where they ended up.
The archivists here in York have become art detectives, desperate for any leads on who the women were. Which is why York's Mansion House is hosting an Aero Girls exhibition to try and jog memories. Members of the Roundtree family became York mayors and lived here, but their company records don't give much detail about the women who advertised their products. This one says Nancy on the back, but is that her real name? This one's untitled. So much still unknown, including why oils were used when they were scarce.
These are very, very extravagant. It's like using gold leaf for a poster campaign. The post-war Britain was looking really bleak, and these poster campaigns were something bright and colourful and really extravagant to make people feel like things were looking up.
There's no girl like a Yorkshire girl for dexterity and quickness in squeezing out the swirls of rich chocolate.
The hunt for the Aero Girls has given York full rein to reminisce about the old days.
We all went to the factories because it was very good money. They were very generous and looked after us all.
The original Roundtrees were Quakers and philanthropists. Nestle bought the company in the 80s, and it looks a very different place now.
Who's this?
It's me.
Aero girl Pamela was 35 when she posed. Incredibly, 60 years on, when I met her, she was wearing the same earrings.
Do you think you look beautiful in it?
I look nice in it.
You look great.
Sadly, this lively woman's memories are now locked in the mists of time.
Do you feel 93?
No.
And her favourite sweets?
I like the Belgian chocolate.
Aero.
So no Aeros for that Aero girl.
The milk chocolate. That's different.
And the hunt goes on to find the other women who were so very different.